In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use Ableton Live's stock parametric EQ plugin, EQ8. I have a session here with just two tracks. The first track is a full beat called Something to Seek, and this is by a Fort Hays audio production alumnus, XP Beats. Shout out Robbie, thanks for the beat. And I also have a vocal track here from a song that we're going to be mixing later this semester. And you can see that EQ8 is found in the audio effects section of the library in Ableton Live, and it's just listed as EQ8. There are presets available for this, but I rarely use presets, especially when it comes to EQ, because the presets really can't predict, what you have in front of you. So I'm just going to double click this and add it right onto the Something to Seek track here, and we're going to take a look at this interface. It's very simple. EQ8 meaning it has 8 frequency bands. Each one of these circles with a number in it represents a group of frequencies, and those groups are changeable, right? You can move them around. You can boost them or cut them just by grabbing a hold of this dot right here. It defaults to having 4 of the bands on, but you could turn on more if you wanted them. We're going to leave them off for now. And you can also change the shape of the EQ bands of the booster cut with this menu above each number. So for instance, number 2 here, it's on a bell shape. That's kind of the standard EQ shape for most frequency bands. But if I want to, I can set it to a shelf and watch how it changes. So the shelf affects all the frequencies below that cutoff point, at least a low shelf does. If I changed it to a high shelf, it would have the opposite, the same shape but the opposite direction. I could also cut with those shapes. There are high-pass filters, and a high-pass filter cuts out low frequencies but allows high frequencies to pass through. You'll see that in just a second here. I could make a really strong one with a steeper slope with this ×4 high-pass filter. I could make this a low-pass filter where highs are cut out and lows pass. And same thing, I could make it a steeper slope. And last but not least, I could make it a notch filter. And a notch filter only cuts. It's a type of filter that's used for like a middle frequency. It's not high or low, it's like right in the middle. And this is great if you have a problem frequency, like ringing feedback or something. You can notch it out with this. So I'm going to set this back to bell and put it back. And we're just going to listen to this and make some adjustments.
XP, you made this.
Great tag. So I'm going to use frequency band 1. I'm going to set it to a high pass filter and listen to what it does. Just cut those lows right out. It's very powerful. All right. You will notice that on the side here there are 3 controls. If I set this to a shelf again, the third one will come back. So unless it's a filter where you don't have a gain because it just cuts it out, you have 3 controls. You have frequency, and I can adjust this with the knob or by grabbing the dot and moving it around. You have gain, where you can boost or cut, and again I can adjust it there or here. And then you have the Q factor, and this is the width or the slope, how many frequencies are affected. So if it's a very wide Q, a low numerical value, then it's going to affect a lot of frequencies. And if it's a very high Q, high numerical value that is, then it affects very few frequencies. So it is the slope of the EQ curve. And there's some general guidelines like boost wide, cut narrow that you can kind of think about. There's another video on that. So that's pretty much all there is to it. There are some other controls on the right here that we're not going to talk about in this course. We'll look at those in audio production 2. Let's hear how this sounds on a vocal. Now this vocal is not isolated. You're going to hear other instruments. There's a lot of bleed in it. That's not unusual for a vocal track that's recorded live with a band. But let's see if we can bring the vocals out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put EQ8 on there if I don't have it there already. And I'm going to show you a hidden feature. This arrow here, if I click that, it's going to bring a very large graph that goes across the screen up above the plugin. And then you have all of the controls right there together for all the bands. It's very handy. So let's play this. I'm going to start this in the middle somewhere.
Working on a soul groove, working on a
and you can see this nice big graph. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a steep high pass filter, cut out some of that low rumble. I'm going to boost the highs quite a lot. She's so light on her feet. And then I'm going to bring the gain down here on the plugin so I don't clip. Maybe boost here in this range with a narrower Q. She wants to know the body of her you. And then I'm going to cut maybe around 500 hertz or so. With band 2, I'm going to narrow that Q also. Narrow that down, bring it up here. Hoping to find teachers to teach her, moonbeams to reach for peace of mind. And, you know, there's only so much we're going to be able to do in this demonstration video, this quick one. We're going to get into mixing later in the semester. But you can see how EQ8 works. You can use it small, you can use it big, but it's a very powerful, transparent EQ, and it comes stock with at least the suite version of Ableton.